Hello, everybody. This is Waldorf,
And this is Statler.
and today. We're bringing you Battle Report 87.
087.
It's an Orc and Goblin Civil War.
Poo pie versus poo pie. Who has the stinkier poo pie?
And it was pretty much came down to an Orcs versus Goblins.
I see. So was the first one that has a larger font, was that the Orc one, and the one that had the smaller font?
It's my font. It's my army. It's always bigger than the other one.
I see.
That is kind of interesting. I did miss that by one pip, didn't I? We were getting ready for that 5,000 point one day tournament we got, so we bumped up to 5,000, bumped up 500 points over my normal list. I still have my Goblin King, Crown of the Cavern King, and the Crown of Autocracy.
Autocracy.
Leadership 9, 18-inch bubble. Talisman of Greater Shielding. Goblin Chief for BSB with the Banner of Discipline.
Leadership 9, 18-inch.
You know, I was going to give, after we talked last time, I said, you know what? Why am I not doing this? Why don't I give my Goblin King a great weapon?
Yeah.
It only makes sense. 30 points.
Is it 30?
30.
So it's cheaper to get a magic item.
Yes. Anyway, ridiculous. 30 points for a goblin to have a great weapon. Anyway. Cave Goblin Chief.
It's only 15 old points.
It's 30 points. A Cave Goblin Chief on a Giant Gnasher, which is still not on the list.
Yeah.
Pana Protection Pension, Lance and a Shield. Another Cave Goblin Chief on a Giant Gnasher with Lance and a Shield.
Looks like they're on foot to me.
They are. They're pretending.
They're pretending. Got some coconuts or something.
And then my Goblin Witch Doctor with 4 spells of Pyromancy. He's a Wizard Master. And the Book of Arcane Power. Alright. 40 Common Goblins, Musician and Standard, War Banner, and 3 Shady Gits. 30 Cave Goblins with Musician Standard and 2 Mad Gits. Another unit just like it. 2 units of 5 Common Orc. Those aren't common. God, this is a terrible list.
Terrible editing, you mean?
Terrible editing. 2 units of 5 Savage Feral Orc Boar Boys with Musicians, Light Lances, and Shields. 5 Common Goblin Raiders with nothing. So they've got a 5-up armor, no bows, nothing. 2 Gargantulas, a Skewerer, 2 Git Launchers, and a Splatterer.
And
so because when you go up to 5,000, you can work in at least one more death from above. So a Skewer.
And just talk a little bit about why the Shady Gits and their advantage.
The Shady... No, I will not talk about that. The 2.0 has not been released yet. I will not discuss this until... No. I mean, come on. You've seen the stat line on a Shady Git. He gets... what is it? The Lethal Strike.
Yeah.
He has 2 attacks base, same as a champion. And he has paired weapons, so he has 3 attacks.
And you place them when you need them.
So he's got 3 attacks. No, he actually fits in the unit now. He can make way.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's what I meant to say. You can make way with them.
He they on the first round of combat they get lightning reflexes and something else.
And how many points are they?
They are 10 points apiece, as opposed to a 20-point champion.
Yeah.
So they cost half as much. 2 of these guys cost the same as a champion. The only thing they don't do that a champion does is they don't guarantee you the 4-inch on the dice.
There you go. And
it's ridiculous.
They're slightly helpful in challenge situations.
They can take challenges, so yes.
Do they count as characters?
And they've won games for me.
Yeah. Do they count as characters?
They don't count as characters.
Yeah, so that helps you with magic spells that count characters.
Oh, that does. Correct.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yes. Yeah. They're like a champion in that regard.
Yep.
So anyway, they're good. Mad Gits are good. They've corrected the ruling now that you take the damage immediately when you hit a Mad Git.
Right.
Which kind of helps them back up again.
Oh, instead of at the end of the move.
Yeah, for a long time, the actual official rule was you took the damage at the end of the phase.
So you just took your eagle and flew over all the Mad Gits.
Well, Eagle can't do it because Eagle has to stop, has to land.
Oh, because he's a flyer.
Yes,
you took a unit of...
you take a unit of fast
cavalry,
and just run through 5 Mad Gits and take all your damage at the end of the phase.
Right.
Gone now, they fixed that. Thank you, Ninth Age. Moving on. Then we have the and did you? I don't know if you noticed this was, but previous. There we go. See, orcs and goblins.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had highlighted it. Anyway, these are the orcs and goblins.
I see.
I meant to capitalize goblins on the other one.
Ah.
Yeah. Anyway, this is not working out well. Anyway, so opponent had an Iron Orc Warlord.
This computer technology stuff. It's just a fad.
It's new for me. Yes, it's a new thing. He's got an Iron Orc Warlord. He's the general with an obsidian sword, dragon mantle, and the talisman of supreme shielding.
It's a good thing it's your career.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
He's got a Goblin Chief for his BSB with the Crown of the Cavern King. Gives him an 18-inch reroll.
Oh, he took the obsidian sword.
He did. No armor save.
Yep.
Which really hurts me not at all.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Actually,
choice.
it does hurt me because I wanted to throw at one point I was thinking about, I was
character
considering the
item.
possibility of throwing the guy with the Pana Protection pension at him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that 1-up armor doesn't help me.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then 2 Cave Goblin Witch Doctors, both masters, one with 4 spells on Pyromancy, 4 on Witchcraft.
Wow.
Went heavy magic, which I was not a big fan of, but every phase he had choices.
You have choices, but
He was not limited by his spell selection.
How many points in Wizards?
I think they're close to 400 apiece.
Yeah, like 800 points of magic.
Yeah. Yep, because they're masters. I think they came up. Oh, and they're both cave goblins too. So, yeah, they're even more expensive.
Yeah.
Cave goblins are expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot of magic points.
Yes, 45 common orcs
Mm-hmm.
with musician.
So his orc unit's bigger than your goblin unit.
This is wrong.
It's wrong.
Wow. Back up. Wow, I did a terrible job on this one. This is supposed to be 25 common orcs with musician, standard, bows, and shields.
Okay.
This is true. 46 cave goblins with
Sure.
full command, war standard, bows, and 3 mad gits.
Okay.
25 feral orcs with musician standards. The Stabba, big Stabba, mammoth Stabba.
Mm-hmm.
They had bows and paired weapons. 5 goblin raiders with shields. 24 iron orcs with full command and a gleaming standard.
Mm-hmm.
2 individual cave trolls. And 2 gargantulas.
And so he's got.
I love the cave trolls as the individuals. They just cost so much.
He's got about 100 archers.
This is 25, remember?
Right.
So 50, 96, yes.
Yeah.
And I have exactly 100.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we both have another 16 from our gargantulas.
Right. And he didn't take any war machines, though.
He has no war machines because
He's relying on his pyromancy.
It all went into the witch doctor, I think.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, 1 witch doctor would give you 2 war machines.
Yeah.
For what he has.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's his thing. So this actually started to worry. This army list has me a bit worried because his blocks, if they get to me, can outfight my blocks, and he doesn't have the little cheap stuff to shoot off.
Right.
So anyway, so I rolled my spells. I got Pyroclastic Flow, Scorching Salvo. These look a lot better in color, by the way. I just haven't printed them. Scorching Salvo, Immolation, and Flaming Swords.
I think the point's going to be moot in not too distant future.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Whenever that comes out.
Yeah.
I still think we're a good way off from.
Well, it's a couple months probably.
Not hearing anything is looming.
Yeah.
And I could be completely wrong. I'm just not hearing it.
Right.
So there you go. So that's my spell selection. Those were units of 6 feral orcs.
Okay.
Not 5. And somewhere there's a unit of 4 trolls missing from that list.
But that one over there on the top's got. Oh, those are your goblins. Never mind.
These are my 4 trolls. I did have a unit of 4 cave trolls.
Ah.
Wow. You know what? I'm never going to make a list again. I'm just going to go wait till I get to here and then describe my army.
Yeah.
Anyway, Splatterer and a Git Launcher here in the back. Big unit of goblins with bows, hand weapon shield bows. 4 cave trolls. 5 goblin raiders. 2 units of 30 cave goblins. General sitting in this one. My BSB sitting right here. And on the other end of this one is somewhere in this unit was my my wizard. I think he's
Right
there. One of my hero. This is the one with the pan protection pension. Here behind the hill, another splatter, another get launcher, skewerer, 2 gargantulas, my other cave goblin on the Nasher, and 6 more savage feral boar boys. Going across the table, this is the unit of. It was the deployment where I'm 9 inches in, up to 18, then I go up to 15.
Oh, okay.
And then back to 9.
And he's forward on the flanks.
And he's forward on the flanks and back in the center.
Okay.
He had a unit of 25 common orcs with bows, shields, hand weapons.
And a giant filler.
And a giant as a unit filler. Gargantula, that's what giants are good for right now.
Yeah.
Big unit of night cave goblins with the 3, whatever these things are now.
Yeah, just sitting out there.
They're just there because he hasn't picked them up off the middle of the table yet. Single cave troll. There's his iron orcs, his other cave troll, and his feral orcs. And a unit of goblin raiders and another spider.
Okay.
Gargantula.
And we got 2 woods.
We deployed
2 hills.
I'm sorry, yes. 2 woods, 2 hills, a field, and a building.
And a building.
And that was it. We started deploying one off. We're going one back and forth. When he deployed both his spiders, so then I dropped. I think we went 3 or 4 units each, and then I dropped the remaining because I was kind of happy with the way things are looking, and I'm kind of okay with this because I got 2 over here to face his 1, and I've got to do something about this one, which don't know yet. We'll figure that one out later. What I was thinking is I can get these 2 to go over here and crush this one, and I can use my artillery to knock this one down, if not kill it.
Stick your trolls in front of it.
Then finish it off with something else. So, there's a better view of his. And that side. And that's where we go. So we did Vanguards. He elected not to. And I moved up. And turn 1. So, turn 1, both my boar units came up. You can see them both coming up some. My cave trolls came up and stepped into the woods so that they've got more than 50% in the woods.
Right.
So a little difficult to shoot at. And other than that, I just moved up a little bit. Not much. I don't want to get too close to him. I want rounds to shoot.
Yeah, you got an advantage.
So shooting unloosed everything at this unit because it was pretty much the only one in range, and managed to kill 7 of the orcs. Yep, 7 of them boys. From this side, I fired, I think it was the Gargantula, and killed 1. I fired my Splatterer and rolled a 1, re-rolled, got another 1.
There you go.
So my bullies, I got bullies with all my war machines except for the skewerer, of course. And I managed to disable it on the first turn. Both get launchers managed to miss, which is a good thing for me. Happy about that. And then we go into his turn, and magic was inconsequential. He shut down everything. Actually failed to roll. I forgot what I was rolling for, but I needed a 6 on 3 dice and rolled a 5. And 3 and 2 1s. He was laughing at that one for quite a while.
It happens sometimes.
So he cast, on his phase, he moves up. I guess I did not take a picture of his units after he moved up. But he cast Flaming Swords on this unit. But he miscast doing so and killed 5 of his cave goblins. Nothing consequential. He shoots off one of my goblin raiders. And with those guys, these guys fire and put a wound on my trolls, despite my woods, my armor, and my needs, 5s to hit me, whatever, 5s to wound me, and I've got a 4 up, 4 up. Gets 1 through. Actually, I need a 6 to hit me. These feral orcs fire and take off the rest of my unit.
Wow.
Pretty good shooting. These 3 units, his main line did not move at all. Goblin archers fire and pick off 2 of mine. No big deal. Moving on to turn 2. You can see on the, well, you'll see over here. I didn't get a good picture. Anyway, his gargantua had come up. My boar boys, they are frenzied, and they decided they can take him.
With a failed check or?
With a failed frenzy
Okay.
check. So they go in.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! They're excited. Everybody else comes forward. Trolls move out to the center of the board. I think this unit, yeah, they stayed where they were. Yeah, I don't think we moved up except for this unit came up a little bit. 2 spiders. I was hoping that the boar boys would come over here on the right and do a wound or 2, you know, because they are strength 4 or
6.
5. They're savages, so I mean ferals, so with light lances.
Yeah.
So
The
commons,
regular
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
Okay.
they're not the head bashers.
Okay.
So they're only strength 5, but it's a lot of attacks, and I figured I'd do a wound or 2, and with the charging, I figured he would do 2, maybe 3 to me. So anyway, so we got that going for us, and I thought I would hold him for a turn, so these guys just came forward. There's the other side. Boar boys, they actually backed up a little bit. They weren't happy about this guy coming forward and looking at them. So fire off my goblins, and did 3 wounds, but he saved 2 of them. He was happy about that. Other unit of goblins fire, managed to do 3 to his. Nothing major. Here we go with the Git launcher. Boom.
Took out the light cav.
Took out the light cab. I didn't want them coming around the right hand side of that and screening off my gargantulas. So I got rid of them. I was really only looking for a single wound. The spider did 4 wounds to me. I don't think I did a single wound to him and fled. So there we go. And they did manage to make their dangerous terrain check without dying in the field.
And they lost.
But we lost. That's not good. But leaves him here. I think it was a 17. So there we go. Why is he intent on that thing? So on his turn, oh, that was it. He tried to charge. There we go. Previous. If you notice how close he is to the edge here,
right?
He charges and gets 2 inches closer to me. So not a big deal.
So a slight failure.
So a failure. 2 trolls came up into the middle of the field to chaff me up. So I'm still a long way from these guys. I'm not quite sure. I guess he wanted to meet me in the middle. Elsewhere, spider moved up on the left. You can see the orcs came down a little bit more towards the center. And that's what we had. So he starts shooting, and we've got the feral orcs firing. And put 2 wounds on my spider. They need 5s to hit, 6s to wound. And I've got a 4-up save. It's not likely they'll wound. They should do a lot, right? I mean, he's got 24 of them. That's what, 1 out of 3
My
hits?
bows always bounce off of everything, so.
It's 1 out of 3 hits. So he hits me like 8 times. Wounds me 1.5.
Yeah.
I save half of that. It's 2 wounds. Anyway, so then the cave goblins decide they're going to fire and get it on the act, and they do 2 more to me.
Okay.
So I got a spider that's about halfway dead. Actually, it's exactly halfway dead. So moving on to turn 3.
From orc bowfire.
From orc and goblin bowfire. That is correct. So on turn 3, it's what we're looking at the beginning of the turn. My feral orcs over here rallied. They're ready to go again. My feral orcs on this side heard what happened on the other side. So they did a swift reform and moved 7 away. Because from where I was, he was right up against me. I could not get past him. I tried. I was going to wheel past. I couldn't get past. So move back this way. My cave trolls move up into the center of the field. And elsewhere, we just turned around and faced this spider. The gargantula. And I wanted to pull this guy back. He's now more than 24 away from this unit. because he's afraid of getting shot. He's not happy about being shot. You can see my guys on Cave Gnashers just redeploying themselves around back here. They're just making sure they stay out of 24. So my Git Launcher during the firing, Git Launcher fires and does a single wound. I mean, it needs 5s to wound. It's not a likely thing, but I'm hoping to put a couple wounds on it before they get closer. It'd be nice to have a splatter about now. So these guys fire and manage to kill off 2.
Okay.
Awesome. Getting them thinned out. There you go. They're down to 10. Elsewhere, that's how it ends. So we're firing. I'm hitting Git Launchers. I mean, I'm hitting on the targets I'm picking. I'm hitting on 4s.
Okay.
Or 5s at worst, and
right.
re-rolling that and just not doing anything. And the skewer hit and failed to wound.
He also doesn't have a lot of great targets for him.
For what?
The Git Launchers.
The Git Launchers, the spiders are good targets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a D3+1, and I'm needing 5s to wound.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm thinking I can put a wound or so on them. At least a wound a turn. Not from each one, but at least a wound a turn. And, you know, who knows if you get lucky and really thump them. So on his turn 3, he charges.
And he makes it.
And he makes it. It's a long charge.
Well, he shouldn't run away.
He makes it in. Yeah. Well, the other thing I'm looking at there is I'm going to kill him. If he doesn't kill me all, which he shouldn't, I can kill primarily from this side, and he has to chase me off the board, is what I'm looking for.
Right. If he chases.
If he chases me. Well, and he's only leadership 6.
He's got a 5 or 6, yeah.
He's leadership 6, so I'm figuring he's probably going to chase me, and this way I'll
Yes.
pull him off the board. Unless he kills me all, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Here in the center, he charges me in the flank with the Orcs, in the front with the Cave Goblins. It's kind of surprised the Cave Goblins came in. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I figured the Orcs would come hit me in the flank just to tie me up or whatever, but I didn't expect the Cave Goblins to come in. Elsewhere, the Spider declares another charge at me and moves a little bit further forward. But at least now he is in really respectable charge range for me. Possible.
It's that fine field.
Yes. Over here he puts a Bewitching Glare, which gives my unit stupidity and -1 leadership for every character. I've only got 1 character in there at the moment, so it's not devastating, but they're leadership 8 now. And then he moves his troll up here. You can see it coming up here, the forward. And he puts the Will-O-Wisp to give my guy random movement. He's 8 inches away, and he gives me random movement 2d6. Elsewhere, the Spider eats my guys, makes his leadership 6 check, and sticks around and reforms.
Okay. The Spider's carrying around some potted plants on top or something.
It is. Gives him something to do.
A lot of greenery.
You can see the Iron Orcs have finally left their woods.
Yeah.
They're starting to move forward. Feral Orcs beside him have moved forward as well. And this combat goes, and he does nothing.
Okay.
Not a single wound.
Wow.
From anything. I've done 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 back to him. He's got the War Banner, 2 banners, another banner here. I actually lost this combat, despite not taking a single wound, lost this combat by 1. But we stuck around. Or actually, it was a push. Sorry, it was a push. But I stick around.
Okay.
And he reforms. Oh, one thing I did do is when he charged me, he didn't have a chance to do anything with his mages. So he has a mage right here.
Right.
One of his mages is right here. Was right here. You can see him right there.
Ah.
I had this troll could hit him 3 times. I hit him and wounded him twice. So I killed off one of his mages. There you go. He narrows down to 6 wide. 7, so that he can keep this mage here out of the corner. He started to go down to 6 wide, which was all that were in contact. And I said, "You do realize that means your mage is coming into contact,
right?
Because he has to stay in the front." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'll stay 7 wide." So he did.
Is that Forge World Standard Bearer?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the split banner. Moving on to my turn 4. That's what we're looking like right there. He's moved this troll up far enough that I cannot wheel past it
Right.
to get at this guy. But he has a wound on him. This Gargantula has none. This is the one with 4 on him. So,
And you get your cavalry over there also.
yep. We measured this cave goblin unit is actually in this unit's front because of the angle cuts like right through here.
Okay.
So I went and charged there. The common goblins charged into the flank. They also have the will-o-wisp. Not the will-o-wisp. Whatever that witchcraft is thing that gives you the -1 movement. So he reduced their movement. Over here, Shave charged into the troll. Spider charged into his spider, and I charged my 2 boar boys in to the flank.
Right.
Hoping he'll divert attacks to the boar boys. So we got that going for it. These 3 all make it. And we fight the combat. He does 2 wounds to me. I did 2 wounds to him. And he sticks with his 6. He stuck around. It's not good. Elsewhere over here.
Did you eat the other troll?
Yes, and I ate the troll. I killed the 1 troll. My spider killed the troll. So this round he does 2 wounds to the trolls and 2 wounds to the goblins. I did 2 wounds. I don't know where all his wounds are. He should have, I killed a bunch of them. The goblins broke and ran back here, but the orcs held because he is within 18 inches of his general, and at the time had the BSB.
Okay.
So you can see I brought my Cave Gnasher up to keep an eye on things. This Cave Gnasher failed its random movement and failed the charge by 1 inch. Went from an automatic charge to a random movement charge and didn't make it. I did put a wound on him from these guys over here. The cave goblins shot at him and put a wound on him. Elsewhere, I moved my... I have War Machine chaff now. I moved my War Machine up 4 inches, which was
block a spider.
Just enough to get in the front of his spider.
Wasn't expecting that.
No, he wasn't. But it can't shoot, so what else is it going to do?
Yeah.
So back to his turn. He's measuring here.
He's definitely going to be taking the points for it now.
Well, he'll get the points for it. That's fine. That keeps, as long as he's, and he did charge it. You can see. He wheeled a little bit and charged it.
Right.
His Iron Orcs came into the front of my unit, and they're actually over here. They just, with all the spit and hands and stuff, they can't fit over there. So they should be all the way cinched in. The Feral Orcs failed their charge. His Troll charged my Gnasher hero. And this guy takes 1 more wound, but kills my spider. Oh, no, sorry. This is the one on the corner.
The other side, yeah.
This is the one on this side. He fought my splatterer, killed it, but he didn't kill it with the spider, so I got to attack, and I put a wound on him, which is fantastic, with 4 crew. Over here, he crushed my spider, killed it, broke it, did more wounds to me than I did to him, and ran it down and killed it, and overran into this one. And he was in the front of this one, so great. So his spider killed mine and has, I think, 3 wounds on it. My boar boys broke. They ran towards the back edge. The ensuing combat, just death and destruction all around. Lots of dead guys. The orcs broke and ran. And because... Oh, that's what happened. The orcs broke and ran. And because they have to run from the biggest, they ran this way, which allowed my trolls to pursue into the Iron Orcs.
Right.
So this just cinched up this combat. These guys won. They won. They elected not to pursue. They reformed to face back here. This is his turn, remember. They elected to face back here to the Gargantula. Elsewhere, I put a wound on his cave troll. It's hard to see it back there, but he stood. He did nothing to me. And that's the overall situation going into my turn 5. There we go. So this unit stayed where it was, the common goblins, because they've got 40 bow shots at most of them, almost all of them at short range into this thing. And I'm just looking for 6s. Here, this unit of cave goblins turned, did the swift reform and move 4 inches to close the gap here. Meanwhile, what else over here? This is just this side. Oh, my guy on a cave nasher came over and clipped the guy on the corner, the iron orc on the corner. That way only these 2 can attack me, because his general's down 2 and I don't have to touch his general because he's already in combat.
Right. The clipping rule in action.
Clipping rule in action. I'm using it to my benefit there. So it's okay now. He launched 3 fanatics. Sorry, he launched 3 madgits into the trolls, knowing it was just going to get randomized, and it's going to get divided up into this combat. He was 7 inches away. He needed to roll a 7 to get to me. All 3 of them failed, and 2 of them ran into each other because of the direction he picked. So, anyway. Meanwhile, my fanatics needed an 8 to reach the gargantula. Both rolled an 8 or better and did. They both went through him. Between that and the shots from here and here, we killed the gargantula. It had 3 wounds, 2 wounds on it coming in. We did 6 more between all this. 70 bow shots, and actually it wasn't 70 because only 10 of these can fire. But anyway, 50 bow shots and 2 fanatics, and I think the contributing did a wound or 2 from the hill, the git launcher. Meanwhile, over here, his spider has wreaked havoc again, and killed my other gargantula.
Oh, it's actually dead.
It's dead now.
I don't know why he was facing that direction.
Yeah, and he reformed facing off into that direction. He got me down to 1 wound, and then a goblin on the back poked me for the final one. But, just insult one way or another. My turn.
So much for your 2-to-1 advantage.
So much for my 2-to-1 advantage. Apparently, 2-to-1 is a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And I had boar boys to help me, so yeah, I definitely had no chance over there. Anyway, I don't get that, because it actually, the only difference between charging and being charged is the goblins on back get +/-1 to your armor save.
Yeah.
Their strength doesn't matter. It's just the -1 to your armor save.
Right.
That's the only difference, and he went through 2 of me. Now, granted, I did have one of them had 4 or 5 wounds going in.
Yeah, the second one, but yeah.
But yeah, I would expect a little bit better of an outcome than that. Speaking of that, elsewhere over here, his champion managed to put 2 wounds on
your hero.
My hero.
Lord, actually, he's a lord guy, isn't he?
No, mine's are heroes.
Okay.
I don't use lords on these. I think they're too. I think that
it gets expensive.
puts the expensive. They would get too expensive that way. But this combat sticks around. You can see some black orcs are dead. Some of my guys are dead. It's going to be a slow.
Iron orcs are dead too.
Iron orcs are dead too. Moving into the bottom of turn 3, his gargantula is sitting here on the field. He elects to charge into this field. He really has no one else within range, so he elects to charge into my bolt thrower, skewerer, and hits me here.
And this guy's stupid, that's why he's there.
And the troll became stupid and walked forward a bit.
Yeah, blocking his...
This troll did kill my... you can see my guy that ran away.
Yeah.
Didn't kill him, but he chased him away. Elsewhere, the feral orcs turned and came towards the center of the board. Need to get into here. The objective, by the way, is breakthrough on this game.
Okay.
And it's turn 5, and they're out of range. There we go. We've got that. So the gargantula kills my skewer and turns to face the center of the board.
How do you get all the way over there?
He's What?
So how to get all the way over
He
there?
reformed on the front corner.
See, so you reformed on I don't know what.
Front corner to center, something like that.
Yeah.
My flaming swords are here. I'm getting +1 to wound, but it's not doing much for me because, you know, I need 5s to hit him. And he still has his full 4-up armor save.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not likely I'm going to do much to him, but it's either that or put it here. Anyway, probably should have. Well, anyway, there's strength 5 to 4. I guess it would have helped me more here.
Yeah, it helps on the trolls.
What I was thinking is I could just get more attacks. That possibility of hurting him.
Not that many more attacks.
No, it's not. And so it turned out to be not a great idea. So anyway, he also has the wheel turns, I think.
Wheel turns. What's that say?
Turtle?
I was trying to figure what it said.
So I can only hit him on 4s, which is fine because that's what I'm hitting him for anyway. But I only wound on 4s instead of 3s.
Ah, okay.
So it cuts down the wounds a little bit.
Yeah. And the flaming swords definitely would have been helpful.
And the flaming swords definitely would have been helpful because of that.
Yeah.
So there you have that. And the combat, you can see I've killed a bunch of the Iron Orcs.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
He's down to 2, 4, 5. I think he's got 6 Iron Orcs left, plus the general.
6 or 7. I assume there's 5 in the front, right?
I think there's 6 in the front and 2 in the back.
Okay.
So maybe it's 5 in the front. Anyway, I think it's 5 in the front, 2 in the back. So I think he's got 7 left. There you go. Going into my turn 6, you can see my boar boys have made a run for the corner, but they can't make it. It's too far. The this unit of common goblins had the wheel turned. I'm sorry, the will-o-wisp cast on it. So they had random movement. So I just moved them up to the side here. Had I been smart, I would have just moved them off to the side. But I was thinking I'll move up here and then shoot at this unit because I didn't march. So I can get some shots at this unit.
Yeah.
Not that in turn 6 it's going to make any difference. I don't know why I'm concerned about it.
That you're hoping for a lucky panic.
Yeah, I should have just moved to get away.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Yeah, it would be really lucky. A rerollable 9.
Very
panic.
lucky.
So, moving on to turn 6. I've killed him. Combat continues. I'm down to a single troll in the combat now because he's
hacking you down
deeper. And this guy is out of the combat because I've killed that champion that was in front of me and killed him down. He has to keep 2 units in combat, and he elected to keep these 2 rather than these 2.
Right.
I mean, it's his choice at that point, as far as I know. We did shoot the crap out of this unit back here. You can see.
Yeah. A lot less of them.
There's a whole lot less of them between this. That was this shooting, shooting.
Yeah.
The Get launcher even fired at him because it was too close to this. I was trying hard to get him below 5. I guess it wouldn't have mattered because doesn't have any wounds on his characters. But anyway, so shot.
He's below 5, isn't he?
Now it is, but it didn't matter. Even I only had 1. This is after everything is fired and magic. I also cast magic on him and used the big 3d6 fireball on him as well. Like I said, I was trying hard to bring him down below. I mean, he's down below a quarter now. So I do get points for half points for the unit at least. You can see his mad get just rolling around in the backfield. There we go. That's how that turn ended. And now we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Okay. Here it
so
comes.
I still have 2 of my war machines. I don't have my splatter anymore or my Get launcher. So yeah, this was odd. So let's see if I got a good picture of this. Yeah, it's hard. Okay. So he's charged me in the flank with his Gargantula and his Feral Orcs, against my my Cave Gnasher hero.
And he can't flee.
And I can't flee because of that. The bad news here, of course, is he can do this combat first and overrun into here, which he's already in combat.
Right.
He's also charged his BSB is charged out of the Night Goblin unit into my Goblins.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the hell did you do that for? And then, I'm like thinking about that for a minute, and I'm like, oh, crap. Because, as you can see, he kills him, overruns into this combat, fights this combat, kills him, overruns into this combat. So he's getting to fight his spiders. One of these units are going to fight 3 times, basically. Because they're going to kill here, overrun to here, kill here, overrun there.
Oh, I thought there was only one overrun.
What's that?
I thought there was only one.
That's 8. That's
The 8
been
thing?
gone
Okay.
for a while. That's another game's
Yes,
rules.
that other game. Yeah.
This troll on the hill actually passed his stupidity check, but he wasn't facing me, so all he could do was turn and face me.
Just for what it was worth.
Just for the fun of it.
Just to show that he could.
Just to show that he could, exactly. So we do this and do that. The combat goes. He of course crushes my Cave Gnasher. He only had a wound left. Which actually, I was had a moment of happiness because these guy does impact hits.
Right.
He killed, if you remember, I don't know if you remember, I had a unit of 7 and 1 in the back rank.
Right.
This guy killed off the one in the back rank with the impact hits, put the spider out of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, look, I've got a chance. No, not so much. So anyway, he overran with the spider to here because they got into the goblin fight. They crushed in the goblin fight. Overran with the spider to here. And then these guys, of course, the feral orcs are going to be stuck. They're not going to be able to overrun into the fight because of these two.
Mm-hmm.
And if you noticed, I'm saying these two
Yes.
because I failed to do the wound. I left him with 1 iron orc in a 400-point unit or whatever. Anyway.
So you hate when that happens?
They here, you can see,
Right.
Anything but snake eyes to get in. And he rolls snake eyes. So they end up an inch away from me. It wouldn't have mattered because, he can't kill enough to knock my steadfast out.
It was all about those, the feral orcs.
The feral orcs couldn't because these were here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're too wide to do it any other way.
Yeah, they may be able to cross up his charges.
Correct, and he couldn't. He can't on an overrun.
No, I mean when he first charged
when he first did, yes.
He should have crossed up his charges.
Yeah, he definitely should if he had the room for it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they crash in there. That's how that ends.
Mm-hmm.
He kills a bunch of mine. Yeah, there you go. Look at that bunch of dead goblins over here. But I'm steadfast, and my general's still
within 18 inches.
Still back here, still within 18 inches, and they pass their test and stick around. Yeah, he's right here.
Yeah.
So they pass their test, stick around at the end of the game, and that's where it ends. So the goblins, my guys, got 2147. The orcs got 2383, which was a 236-point difference.
And nobody got objectives.
And no objectives, so it ended up being a 10-10
A tie
game.
with many dead greenskins.
Greenskins dead all over the place.
Much green ooze to be shared.
So this goblin army thing I'm running is not lost yet, but now it has failed to win one.
There you go.
It's currently the current rankings. I think it's 4-1-0.
Okay.
4 wins, a tie, and no losses. But anyway, so it was a fun game. He's a good opponent. It's fun to play him. I was not happy about that one spider overrunning 2 of mine. Anyway, other than that, I did get my the venomous surge thing off on him.
Right.
And of course, he rolled a 6 and armor saved it.
Oh.
Because it's only strength 5.
Right. Now that's a big part of who's lucky with that.
But even so, it wouldn't have killed him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because he had more than 5. He had more than 3 wounds left.
Right.
So anyway, I just couldn't roll. Well to hit him. I was rolling 8 dice with my
You were intimidated by that black spider. Your guys were just, not dark enough.
I was hitting 2 times out of 8 rolls.
Yeah.
In all 3 combats, and it was just terrible.
Yeah, that's why you roll the dice. You never know what's going to happen.
Yep. Anyway, all right. Thanks for listening.
Till next time.